Hey everyone, Cody and Giselle here, your 2016 Vegan Travel winners.
We are super excited. We just landed in our first destination, Budapest, Hungary.
This is Jerusalem,
Florence, Udaipur,
Egypt,
Kiev, Ukraine, Kenya, Ljubljana, Slovenia,
Prague, Czech Republic.
When we found out we won the contest with Vegan Travel, we were absolutely thrilled. We were in Costa Rica at the time. It was amazing to learn that we were working or going to be working with an ethical vegan company. We pulled out a giant atlas and started looking at all the different countries we wanted to visit, a few places we've never been to, and a few places that we wanted to repeat visit.
So when we touched down on our first destination, our flight got canceled and we got bumped to first class, which was incredible, but I've never been in first class before, and neither have you. But Giselle could sleep because it was a lay down bed, but I ended up just like playing video games and watching TV and just enjoying the whole flight. So when we got to Rome, we were extremely tired, but also super excited.
We chose Italy simply because we had to choose the first country, and we decided we were going to do a few countries in Europe, and also because the flight to Italy was less expensive than flying from Canada to any other place in Europe, so that really is why we chose to land in Italy. And of course we were really excited about all of the vegan Italian options. The food there is phenomenal.
Especially pizza. Egypt is very special to us. It's the first place we went to after getting married. We decided to backpack through Africa and went to Egypt. And I've always wanted to go to Egypt since I was a kid. I've just been fascinated with the whole Egyptian culture and how beautiful everything is, how ancient everything is. So it was incredible to go there and see the pyramids, and it's one place that I could go back over and over and I never get sick of.
We've noticed that there's a lot more plant-based options, mostly in Cairo. We visited quite a few different restaurants and there was absolutely no issues or difficulties eating vegan, which was amazing. It's just a magical place. The people are extremely warm and very hospitable, even after everything that they've been through. They're still strong and resilient. So yeah, we just love Egypt.
One of the most vegan-friendly places we went to in our past 6 months has to be Thailand. It definitely helps that we've been there numerous times before and we've learned a few phrases in the Thai language. There's just vegan food everywhere. You can even just go to a market and get fruits and veggies, and it's amazing.
Another country, surprisingly, was Ethiopia. They fast over 200 days out of the year, which for us was incredible because there are fasting menus at all the different restaurants, and there's even a hotel in Addis Ababa that has a full vegan lunch buffet every single day, and a loving hut, which was great. We really didn't find any place in the 6 months to be, not very vegan friendly. We had a very easy time finding plant-based food.
Even in the past 5 years, we've never really had much difficulty finding vegan food. Because once again, we can just go to a market and grab fruits and veggies or bread. There's so many options around the world, it's very easy.
If you are in Budapest, Hungary, make sure you visit Eteram Napfenyes. I believe we have 2 locations.
I had a gorgeous pizza. It was so delicious with seitan on it.
Amazing stuffed cabbage rolls with sauerkraut. We had a really big plate of different variety of finger foods that were all completely Hungarian.
Oh, and one other place, Local Vegan Bistro in Warsaw, Poland.
Yes.
Warsaw was a huge surprise. Like, that place is amazing for vegan options. Everything from vegan pizza to vegan sushi to local vegan Polish food.
Yeah, and one more I would have to say, Bean Me Up in Goa, India. Everything was absolutely delicious. Everything is homemade, in-house, tofu, tempeh seitan, kombucha, coconut yogurt.
So one of our favorite Omni places to eat has to be Blue Diamond.
Eat dessert anyway.
Yeah.
You're not a big fan of the savory stuff, but...
No, but the cinnamon buns are absolutely amazing. The best cinnamon buns we have had anywhere
I really enjoyed the pizza place, By Hand Pizzeria, which is in Old Town Chiang Mai. It is a omni place as well. They have 4 different vegan pizzas. The green vegan is my favorite, and it has capers, pesto, mushrooms, and fresh basil on it, and it's delicious. I love it.
Also the Canteen in Chiang Mai, Thailand. It's just a tapas restaurant, but they have more vegan options than anything else on the menu.
For any of our experiences that were non-food related, positive experiences, of course, are volunteering in animal sanctuaries, to sit with the locals and watch them care for the animals, and can really see how much they cared about them and loved them. So always when we're with animals, that is probably the most amazing non-vegan food experience.
Also, just sitting and being still. Like, we love people watching. So tons of times we'll just be in a country, sit on a park bench for a few hours and just enjoy our time there. One of my favorite experiences is just being at the pyramids. You know, sitting in the shade at the pyramids and just doing nothing for an hour, just sitting there and just looking at the pyramids, watching people go by, breathing the air, just being still and in the moment.
Being in the moment. Before we leave anywhere, we do a little bit of research about the country. We make sure that we know, how to properly respect the culture there. We don't dress in certain ways depending on the customs or religions.
Learning a few words is a huge thing, because even if you mess up the word, you're still going to get a huge smile, and people will really appreciate you just taking the time to learn a little bit more about their country.
There were no airlines that had particularly great meals. We bring our own food, actually, our own snacks. Dried fruits, nuts. We even brought some noodles, some vegan noodles that we found in Bangkok. Anything at the 7-Elevens, anything that, we can read, the ingredients, of course, and it's plant-based. That's what we take on the plane with us, and we definitely always take snacks.
And usually everything is overpriced on trains or planes, so just buying snacks, you're going to save a lot more money. From day one in 2012, when we took off traveling, I've written every single penny that we've spent down. So to look back and just say, okay, this is how much we spent today, maybe we should watch how much we spent tomorrow. And another thing is to eat away from tourist traps.
Eat locally.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in the center of the city, things are going to be more expensive. If you just maybe go a few blocks outside of the area, you're going to find stuff to be a lot cheaper.
We would recommend Booking.com. We also used Agoda.com quite often. It is now owned by Booking, but it's a really good site that we use quite often for pretty inexpensive hotels. Airbnb we use quite a bit as well.
Another great site is Couchsurfing.com. It's free. You just stay with locals, and it's a great way to meet someone from the area you're staying in, and sometimes they'll even take you out and show you around the city.
We would absolutely recommend people traveling to volunteer, visit different animal sanctuaries. People are really in need of help. There are a lot of animals out there, and the work that people do is non-stop, really. So volunteers are always welcome. There are a few places you have to pay for, and there are others where you can just come for free. It was nice to be around animals and to know that there are people all around the world that are caring for them. Do make sure to really do the research on the animal sanctuary. There are a lot of places that call themselves and consider themselves to be sanctuaries, but if they are not putting the animals first, then they really aren't a sanctuary. So, do be careful with that.
One of my favorite animal sanctuaries that we visited while traveling was Animal Aid India in Rajasthan.
I've been to quite a few sanctuaries, and the staff and volunteers there, the locals from India, are some of the most loving and caring that we've ever come across. So it was really beautiful to witness that. They're doing really, really good work.
One of the only challenges we faced with trying to visit sanctuaries is some of them are so overwhelmed with work that they don't have time to get back to you. So we contacted places in Slovenia, in Hungary, and a lot of the times we would never hear back. Or we would hear back and say, oh, sorry, we're so busy, we're not accepting volunteers right now. So I would just keep on emailing different places, and when you find one that you can volunteer at, definitely go to it.
It's about causing the least amount of harm to animals and humans. You know, we're all here, we all suffer, and it's about caring for those that you don't even know halfway across the world and taking responsibility for ourselves and for this planet.
I care about being vegan because how could you not once you really see what's going on with animals, the way humans are treated in slaughterhouses or on Thai fishing boats, the way the planet's being destroyed. It's kind of hard just to turn a blind eye to that once you really know what's going on. So probably the defining moment for me going vegan was along the border of Thailand and Laos. We went there to help volunteer with an organization who is rescuing dogs from the dog meat trade.
A lot of pain that I went through there. I had to walk away. I couldn't show my emotions to the dogs. I was told that the dogs would pick up on my emotions, so I did have to leave a few times.
And so that's when I really made, the connection. Looking in a dog's eyes and just being like, okay, so people are eating this animal, and people are eating cows, and people are eating pigs and sheep and horse, snake. It didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense that how can I judge anybody else for eating one animal if I was guilty of it as well? We have never been that sick before like I was in India. I mean, we have gotten sick on the road. I got kidney stones in Thailand.
I was diagnosed with parasite in Vietnam, although I really wasn't ill at all. I just completely lost my appetite.
It was a really scary experience. It was over the span of a month, and I thought I was getting better, and then just got worse and worse as time went on. I wanted to fly home. Basically, I just wanted to lay in a bed with, good food, good clean food, and family and friends. I was very weak. I couldn't even stand up. I couldn't even eat. I had no appetite.
We had to leave India and head to Thailand, go to a hospital.
Just landing in Thailand, I felt, it's kind of silly, but I felt instantly better. I mean, I just knew what to expect, what kind of food to expect. And it was just more like I was in my second home, so in a comfort zone, which was a lot easier to deal with while being that sick. You can't really give any advice to try and avoid something like this because it can happen to anybody. I mean, it can happen in any country, anywhere. One of the only destinations I can think of that was a little bit challenging was when we first landed in Kiev, Ukraine. Everything's in Ukrainian. So I actually got a map from the airport and the entire map was in Ukrainian. You get onto the subways and we basically just have to ask somebody and hope that they spoke English. But we got by. It's not like it was super difficult.
Yeah, got the hang of it.
So some destinations we didn't make it to on this trip that we would definitely like to go to. I would say Morocco,
Yes.
Iran, China, Afghanistan.
Tibet.
Yeah.
Definitely, most definitely Tibet, yeah.
I feel like a lot of these countries get a bad rap, people judge an entire country or its people on what they see in the media.
And that's not always true, is it?
No. So I would like to go and experience these places for myself.
We know that people are kind all over the world, and we definitely want to share that with other people.
So we just really want to thank you guys for everything that you've done for us for the past 6 months. It's been an amazing experience. It's been an amazing 6 months.
It's been a blast. See you soon.